Welcome to today's edition of the Mentorprenuer. We believe that life is a bunch of experiences and is therefore the best teacher. Today, our guest, she is a businesswoman, a politician, and a publisher. She rose from the creeks, now writing on the rooftops, chapter by chapter, her experiences and the experiences of others. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our guest today, Buma Harry Gloria, or Gloria Buma Harry. Welcome.
Thank you.
Please sit down. My pleasure. Thank you for making our time today. It's always we've been colleagues for a while. She's been a workaholic. Thank you for making our time to be here today.
Thank you.
Let's go back to the very beginnings. Before you started writing, publishing, before you became owner of your own business, how did you grow up? How was growing up like? Was it like you grew up in an elitist, all-sufficient family? What was it like?
Okay, thank you for having me. It's nice seeing you again, and it's nice being here in the studios with you. For me, I was born into a family with affluence.
Okay.
But life happened along the line. You know, in our own climb or in our own area, polygamy seemed to be a normal thing. So my mom and my dad had that experience, and unfortunately, I became a victim of that experience. Now, saying that I became a victim means, or what I'm trying to say is, when the new woman came, I was my mom's first daughter. So seeing me in the house was like having my mom around. So she made sure my dad sent me out of the house, myself and some of my siblings. So I grew up in the boarding house, and I also grew up with the help of my uncle, my late uncle. He sponsored part of my senior secondary education. But in all, I tried to remain focused, and that also led me on the wrong path, because when I saw my parents struggle, then we were having Mills and Bones novel, you know, all those kind of romantic novels that we had. So most of us were reading those kind of things, and they had...
I'm building castles in the air.
Yes. So I had my own idea of Prince Charming. And unfortunately, in my neighborhood, there was this boy I fell in love with. We eventually got married. But the sad thing is, at that point we got married, we didn't have any business getting married. I was just 19.
Why? Okay.
Now, we met when I was in my senior secondary school.
Wow.
Yes. So my focus at that point was to become a doctor.
Medical doctor.
A medical doctor. My friends called me Dr. Harry. Now, I had to find solace in that relationship, because, like I said, my dad and my mom were having issues. Another woman came. So most of us didn't live with my father. I grew up in Marine Base. After that problem, you can imagine, I had my own room. I had everything to myself. My father had a bakery then too. So I was used to eating fresh bread. Then suddenly, another woman came. I didn't just lose that comfort. I lost everything. So I found myself in a strange environment. People who are familiar with Port Harcourt would know Marine Base, how Marine Base looks like even now. Yeah. It's like a ghetto. Now,
it is. Okay, yeah, some part still.
Some part of it.
Some part refined.
But then you can imagine some years back, it was like a ghetto, because my mom was a typical housewife. She would stay in the house, take care of the house. My dad sent her to Singer. So she knew how to sew. Then, you know, usually her life revolved around raising her children, and she had a rich husband. So she didn't have her own money, she didn't have her own career. So when life happened to her, she didn't know what to do. So the accommodation she could afford was accommodation in Marine Base. So all of us were clustered in that one room. Now, my uncle before then took me to Warri, because then he was working with one of these federal agencies as one of their top directors. But that too, I experienced his wife, family issues, and we were not able to return back to his house. His house too was comfortable because he was a big man. So the only thing I had was my boyfriend and my mother's marine base accommodation. So unfortunately for me too, he said he loved me, and I had a picture of the kind of man in the novels I read, you know, so I fell in love with him too. So when he said, let's get pregnant, let's have a baby, so they will let us get married. I was just 18. I got pregnant innocently. Then being a man,
you had finished secondary school?
I was still writing.
School, okay.
I got pregnant while I was writing my WAEC.
Your final, okay.
So I was in school writing WAEC. I'm pregnant. I think a month or two. Nobody knew. Now, after the WAEC, life happened again. He fell in love with another girl. So this time he said he was not responsible for my pregnancy.
Wow.
So you can imagine a young girl abandoned by her love, her father with a new wife, her mother heartbroken from a failing marriage. You know, life itself was difficult for me to handle those issues. But I thank God, because in all of that, I didn't lose focus. I didn't lose myself. I know you don't even know the story, because I've not shared with anybody. I didn't lose focus. I remained focused on my education. So I had to go back, enroll for GC, because my WAEC, I switched from pure science to social arts. So courses like, or subjects like geography, all those arts related subjects, I didn't study in secondary school, but I had to write as external candidate for my GC. And to the glory of God, I passed. I got my papers to enable me switch to social sciences, because I was distracted. I couldn't continue with my medical dream, though I am still afraid of rats. So when they said I should get rats for biology practicals,
how would you deal with cadavers?
You understand? So
I'm scared of blood. So
I said, no, this one is not for me. So the Dr. Harry has to maybe come in another way. So I got my GC, and he came back. That's my love. After he finished, after I gave birth, because the child resembled him. I gave birth and I fainted because of the trauma. I was just 19. The pain and everything, I couldn't handle the pain. So when his parents, his mother and his sister saw the child, I didn't need to explain to anybody. But you can imagine that stigma. You're 18, you're pregnant. Most of my friends refused to talk to me because their parents could not imagine a girl at that age getting pregnant while I was supposed to.
Their children.
You get. So they didn't understand that I was in love. They felt I was irresponsible. So I was lonely. I grew up being isolated from everybody. So I focused on my education, and somehow I went back to the university. I enrolled, and there were days as a married woman. We had only one car then, because he is from a wealthy family. So we had only one car. There were times he would even forget me in school, because the routine was he would come and pick me from school if I find my way to school, or we share the car. There was a particular day he forgot me in school, and all I had was 50 naira. I looked at myself. Am I supposed to stay in school? I had to go home because I had children in the house. I was attending school as a married woman, a mother.
I'm producing children.
You understand? So that too had its own challenges, but I didn't let it deter me.
Okay, now, in your estimation, from those days of being ignorant to today, If you were to define love, what would you define it to a younger person?
I would say love. Love is love. Because my definition of love would definitely not
Vary
be your
from our definition
of love.
So it is subjective
But,
and relative.
yes, but in all you do,
Okay.
like my late father told me, he said, men are like snakes. Due respect to men. That you don't say, oh, I can't handle this man because he's promiscuous, he's doing this, he's doing that. The next man
Maybe worse.
might be worse
A deadly
than
poison.
him. But the only difference is he respects you more, he loves you, and he has conscience. That's why those things a normal man would do, he won't let you do it. You understand? So my definition of love is when you are in love, don't lose yourself in love. Because that was what happened to my mom. That was what happened to me. I believed him when he said, get pregnant. So many things would have happened to me. But because...
When some people... Okay, finish your line.
But because God helped me. So my definition of love didn't mean I should let go of my dreams.
Okay. Now, if against the backdrop of some people say love is blind, some say love is foolish, some say love is crazy, some say love is deadly. For example, our Lord Jesus Christ. For God so loved you and I, he killed, literally, he killed the best thing he had. And he told Abraham, to prove that you love me, give me your child. Okay? So, if love is deadly, love is crazy, love is bad, why would someone jump from a 2-story building?
No, but it's true.
Okay? Why would someone, you're showing someone that, look at this. From my reasoning, my intelligence, something is wrong. You said, no, nothing is wrong.
That's what I'm
saying.
Understand? That's why I said, in all of it, don't lose yourself.
But that's something. How can you, when you're blind, you're foolish, you're crazy, and it's even deadly?
You try not to give your mumu button to the man completely.
Okay. Coming from a polygamous family, I also came from a polygamous family. My dad had children from about 4 mothers. And till today, those taught me lessons to be a better husband today. Because I looked at the mistakes of my father. My dad used to be quick-tempered with aggravated temper. My mom died with a mark on her face here because my dad punched her through her glasses and it tore her. When I saw it, I cried, and it taught me not to beat a woman. I saw my dad flung my mother out from the staircase, and I cried. I'm getting emotional now. And it taught me
not to do that to a woman.
Yeah, not to do that to a woman. I also, at a point, we left our dad. Our dad was comfortable, was an elite, because at the 70s, my dad drove Rolls Royce, what do they call it, Citroen, that used to rise, which we call like limousine today, or yes. Lexus today, what do they call it now, Rolls Royce today. That was the highest car from the whites then. He drove Maurice Myron Super Deluxe. My dad drove Land Rover as official car. The first Range Rover, 404. He had all those cars. We were living in a four-bedroom duplex. We called it opposite Joyce Fisher, number 3 Red Crescent. So it was a member of Port Harcourt Club as at the 70s, boat club. So we were comfortable. But because of his lack of care and militaristic, we had to run to our mother that was a poor teacher that he drove out. Now, our younger siblings, I'm the second born from the first woman, boy, and my elder brother is the first son. We had a girl, she's overseas now. He denied her. So we are scattered. I didn't like that. And that taught me not to have children outside marriage. What has it taught you about polygamy? Because some people say it's common with rivers people, it's common with Nigeria, it's common with a particular kind of people. They like to have children everywhere. When you have children, it's like easier to bring children to the world. But when you can't take care of them, they turn out to be problems to society. What lessons have you learned?
Our experiences tend to have positive and negative effects on us.
Yeah.
Now, for the men, it's easy for you to control what you want.
Like
more than the women. In the context that in a relationship, particularly in Nigeria or in Africa, the man dictates what happens. Okay. Now, I might be in a relationship. I might love you so much. I might want to marry you, but I can't propose to you.
Okay, you wait for the man.
I will wait for you to propose to me.
Yeah.
Now, you might not feel the way I feel. Maybe because you're not at that place at that time. But I might be ready to settle down. And maybe I would have made that mistake of trusting you, like you said, love is blind, love is foolish, love is all that. Now I am in love with you. So even when the red flag starts flying, I might interpret them to be something else. And depend on what you said to me, which might just be telling me what I want to hear to get what you want from me. So lessons learned from such experiences, you can't say it will stop us or prevent us from doing those wrong things our parents did. No. Sometimes psychologically it might even destroy the child to the extent that the child might be a worse version of the parent. I don't know if you understand. Sometimes it might be positive in the point to the extent that the child, by the grace of God, say never. Even when such situations present themselves, the child would be able to restrain from making mistakes that the parents have made. But in all of that, I would say we are human. So the fact that we search for love, we want love, is something that we yearn for even till we are old. When I was a younger girl, I would say when a woman is 50, you know, maybe she doesn't feel all those romantic things. No. Life becomes lonelier when you're above 50.
Wow.
Because at that time, if you don't have a companion, you tend to yearn for a companion. Your kids, if you have kids as early as I did, they would have their own life.
Yeah.
So when you're telling alone. Them, guy, please sit down and let's
I need a company.
They'll be like, this woman, leave me alone now.
Your days are past.
They also have their own life.
Yes. So the youthful energy is gone. Now you need to be settled down. You need
even if you have the energy, your priorities are different.
Yes, of course.
Now you want
you can't dance in the rain again.
No, you want somebody to talk to.
Maturely, you know.
But you don't have it. So for me, when I see people who look at me and say Gloria is strong, she has survived all through, because that marriage, my marriage didn't work. As much as we loved ourselves, because we were too young, we didn't have business getting it. He was just 2 years older than me. So you can imagine a 19-year-old girl, 21-year-old, my way to Sabi now. We didn't know anything. At that age, our mates were in the university, still doing all kinds of things. Then in the morning, I wake up and tell a small boy, 21 years old boy, today no food though. Or I need money for diaper.
Okay, talking about university, today you're pursuing your second PhD.
Yes.
You wanted to become a medical doctor, which is good, one of the highbrow, highly estimated professions in Nigeria. You took in, you failed your first examination. What reignited your passion for education? What kept you going through going to school here, especially when in a family where the financial structure is not there for you? Some families, they keep monies for them. Some
not
families,
that the financial structure was not there.
Okay.
I was separated from that structure
by
my decision.
That's what I'm saying, by circumstance.
Yes.
Like we two were separated from my dad was ready to train us, but we separated from him
and my
due to circumstance.
Yeah. Then was too young
to finance your education.
He was also not established
financially.
His family had money. But both of us joined us together. Our first TV was a black and white TV they gifted to us. Now, for us to change the channel, we had to look for a cloth to turn, you know, that knob. We were sick. When I was pregnant for my second son, we were sick. We didn't have the money to afford ordinary malaria drug. We bought dogoyaro We used blankets, we boiled it,
Wow.
covered ourselves.
Thank
But
God,
his
thank God
sister,
for his mercies.
his sister was one
Was
of the
rich.
richest women in Nigeria. But both of us join us together, we'll not get anything. If it's close, I'll dress up, I'll come out. You see me, Gloria.
Flashy.
But I didn't have a bank
dime.
account. It was when I went to visit her, she saw me heavily pregnant. She said, Gloria, what's wrong with you? I said,
Yeah,
she saw I was sick.
Wow.
They admitted us at my cousin's hospital, which was her official hospital. We shared a room. His bed was this way, mine was this way. We were admitted. So, you know, for me, what kept me going, what made me not to lose focus was I saw my mom. When life happened to her,
Okay.
she didn't have an alternative. Education is power. Yes, you might not have all the education, but at least you have a certain level of education. But in all, you should be self-reliant. Any woman who says her husband is a billionaire and decides to sit down waiting for him to give her bread and butter, you're not doing that to yourself, but to your children. Because any day life happens and your children find themselves in a situation where they are cut off from that level they are used to, and suddenly they are brought down to rock bottom, they might not be able to handle it. So every woman should either acquire education with which she can get employed, or she should acquire a skill. Because education comes in two ways.
Yeah.
You can acquire a skill that dressmaking, hairdressing, anything that you're sure you have the knowledge and you can fend for yourself. So I saw myself in my mother, and I didn't want to find my children passing through what I passed
your
through.
mother, yeah.
So maybe I preempted everything that happened later, but I kept going. And it wasn't funny. Like I said, I trekked from UST to Federal Secretariat with my 50 naira to get the bus back to the house, because at that point the fare was 50 naira. But it didn't stop me. My shoes, everything, sports, they were constructing Olo Obasanjo then. But if I don't tell you my story, when you see me driving in my car, when you see me in my office, you just believe, this lady has had life. No. So I tell young girls, even when you are in love, try not to forget what you want to be. Because you are Mr. and Mrs. somebody. You should support your husband. Men tend to disrespect women because you don't have anything valuable to add to the relationship.
Everything you depend on them.
Yes. There are days when the man is so choked up, he might not be able to open up to tell you.
Yeah.
But if you notice that your man is stressed, if it's something that you need 50 naira for or 100 naira, you can spend it because you have something
planned and saved for rainy days.
Yes. Now, at that time, my partner was very jealous because I was young. So when I drive in Port Harcourt, when I drive in Port Harcourt, I had men follow me to my house. Then there was a particular instance, the man met him and said, "I'm looking for your sister."
Refusing to acknowledge and accept that was somebody's wife.
Yes, I was too young to be somebody's wife. So he was so angry. He came into the house. He didn't tell me. It was years later. I said, "You're lucky." See what happened that day. If I had come in and you had peeping through the window, I would have known that you knew somebody was riding behind you. I would have dealt with you, you know. So some husbands cannot handle when their wives go out to work.
Yeah.
But you can stay at home. Thank God for technology. Now I'm talking to young girls. You can, that's your phone that you're busy browsing, doing TikTok, dancing. You can actually earn money through writing.
Remote jobs, yeah.
Yes, remote jobs. You can do freelance marketing for people. Like my degree, my first PhD is in marketing. What is marketing all about? Knowing what you need and
facilitating it
and doing it better than any other person. That is all. At a profit to myself and your own satisfaction. So if you have a phone, you're a phone dealer, I could come to you and say, please, can I snap these phones? Let me post it on my DP. Maybe there are people who need phones, and I might just be the channel through which they will buy the phones. I've earned my commission. I don't need to leave the house. There are several things we can do. If it's dressmaking, hairdressing, even dressmaking, there are people that don't know how to sew, but they know somebody that knows how to sew. If I wear this dress, for instance, and you say, I like it, I could tell you, okay, I can make it for you, X amount of money. I know how much I'm going to pay to the tailor to make the dress. And I've earned some income.
Commission.
Then if you earn a degree and you say you want to work, you know that your qualification determines the position you also occupy. But in all, when you're in the relationship, God even says the man is the head of the house. And maybe he knows that we are naturally stubborn. So that's why he said women should submit. Now, the man should love, knowing that the men too, if it is well with you people. You know, so if you love your wife, like I said earlier, there are things you won't want to do to her. And if you, a woman, you submit to your husband, he will let you do those things that ordinarily he won't have let you do. Because he knows that you're not going to challenge him.
Trustworthy.
You're not challenging his authority, you're trustworthy. And everything you're doing is for the benefit of that relationship. So, young girls, women, some of them will tell me, Gloria, I'm not going to stand this man, I won't go. I said, no, leave her.
Where are you going to? A West Point is outside.
By me, I said my marriage crashed and I got into another relationship. And I can tell you, no man has ever loved me the way my ex-husband has loved me. But the only problem was he felt insecure. Our timing was wrong. We were too young. And I had one sister-in-law, my God. We were living in our own house after a while, you know. So it was like a family thing. Everybody had their own flats in an estate. My sister-in-law gave me hell. His current wife was our tenant. I was in the house. You know, so maybe if I'm mature like this now, she'll won't sleep my husband. Continue. Now you go tired.
Okay, so talking about planning for children, like I said too, growing up, as of today now, I say it boldly, please, if you can't take care of any child, don't bring any child to this world. I've been there, I've done that, I've seen it. So you find people just bring children into this world without adequate plan, preparation, provision, even if it is not, you don't have so much, but ensuring that your children remain focused, their schooling, their education, or their skill empowerment, that burden is taken off them. Don't you think they will become better citizens? And what should it be like today now from your experience?
Most of us now are too busy trying to make money.
Yeah.
Now we try to make money, and the money we can't even, most of us can't make enough.
You make it till you enter the grave.
You know, so but family is important. My little ones came back from school one day and they said, my teacher said if you flog us it's child abuse. I said, when you make me talk every day, it's parent abuse. Don't you understand? Because I don't want to be shouting and screaming. Yeah. Because you're abusing me.
Exactly.
Mentally.
You're tormenting me.
So please let us be civil in this house. You don't want me to flog you. Don't make me shout. Because there's a level I will shout.
I lose my mind.
Lose my mind and I will slap you. So if you see the slap and this as child abuse, don't do that to me.
Exactly.
Now the next thing I'm trying to teach them is savings. I tell them, I give you pocket money. From that pocket money, remove that small amount that will not make you go back to that money you have removed. Start saving. And I did an analysis for them. And when I finished, it ran into millions. And I said, you see, by the time you're out of university, you're already a millionaire.
Yes, like 30,000 in a year. I think I've done 3,000 in a year.
No, what we calculated was
something.
what we even calculated was 500 naira a day for 8 months times the 3 years left for them from secondary school. Then for university we said 1,000 or 500 a day. 500 times 5 is 25, multiplied by 4, that's about 10,000. 10,000 a month. So before you consistently save like that, you see that you have a pool of cash. When you're done from school, you can fall back on. One. Then for the number of children parents you have, sometimes children come when you don't even want them to come. But in all, what I tell people is, when you find yourself in a situation, you have children, try family planning. Most people have had bad experiences, so the way you talk about family planning, they say no. So when you get to that point where you find yourself in a critical situation, either you step up your game, you work like you will never stop working just to bridge that gap, because when they are small, their demands are more. But as they become older, the only demand is school fees. School fees is subject to your own preference. You know how much you earn. If you earn 250,000, you don't have any business taking your child to a school where
you pay 1 million.
You pay 1 million. You're on your own. You have caused problem for yourselves. Most of us went to government schools. I went to government girls secondary school, Harbour Road.
I went to government comprehensive secondary school.
You understand? At our time, during our time, government schools were more functional. If you're even going to private schools, people look at you as if you don't even know anything. And your parents don't have money. Because the government schools then, they were like exclusive for the bourgeois and the elites. But now the reverse is the case. But there are still some schools that are private but not too expensive. So you just cut your coat according to available material.
Okay.
And work on your urge, male and female. Know when you're supposed to meet. Family planning. But you're unfortunate you can't do family planning. You have kids beyond what you were expecting to have. Nothing stops you from sitting down and having a realistic budget, because life now planning, just like business. You don't jump into business without proper planning. So now you have entered the business of having children without proper planning. You come back again and you do damage control. Okay, I have 7 children. I didn't plan to have 7 children. What do? I can't throw them away. Oh yeah, school. Do they go to public school or a private school that is not too expensive? The key word is a child that is intelligent is intelligent. My father used to take time out in the house to make sure we read and do our homework. Not even my mom. All of us know how to play the piano. 30 minutes on the piano, you will play it. There was discipline then. Nobody came back. How dare you come back and tell my father that when you flog me is child abuse? You get
okay. So you went into publishing. You published a book called Invisible Remote Control. When we come back after this break, you're going to talk to us about it. Have a saving culture. Don't eat up both your seed and the fruits. Plan your family. Family planning. It's not a curse. According to late Bumare Kosema, advice, no be curse. If you make a mistake, come back, review it, re-strategize, and double your hustle. You can come back. We've been talking to Gloria Buma Harry. She's a friend of ours. Keep forgetting that. Gloria Buma Harry.
You're just a Nigerian man.
Gloria Buma Harry. So she's pursuing a second PhD degree. She's also a publisher and entrepreneur. When we come back, we'll look at the other aspects of her life and hear her own story and what we can learn from it. This is Mentorprenuer, CEMTV Mentorprenuer. Please stay tuned.
is CEMTV. Reliable news and entertainment.
Welcome back. We still have Gloria Bomahari with us on Mentorpreneur today. And you went into publishing. You wrote the book Invisible Remote Control. What turned you into publishing? And even journalistic practice. And finally writing books.
Okay, when I enrolled in the university, the first business I ever embarked on was real estate.
Wow.
Yes. And
What
real
inspired you?
estate, to make money.
Also a spirit.
I didn't want to be
The street hustler. What we
Yes.
call street hustles.
I didn't want to be a burden.
So
I didn't want to
you want to
feel.
depend on any man again. You didn't want the rubbish that your dad did to your mom.
You know, and I didn't want to be. I like food. When I'm
Good food.
yes, when I'm unhappy, I like to shop. I'll just take myself out. Either I go to a shop, buy clothes or anything for myself. It makes me happy.
Pleasure yourself.
Yes. Or I travel. When I can afford it, I go to the UK or I go to Ghana, anywhere just to unwind. Then when I see food, all kinds of food, I take myself there. So my partner then, my husband, my ex-husband would say, if they tell him, I saw her car, he said, don't mind her. She went to eat. You know, so what led me
You have to work out for your own money.
Yes, so my first company was Dell Services.
Okay.
Acronym, my children, the first letter of their names. Then there was a day I walked into somebody's office and he said, no, I want to see your MD. I said, I'm the MD. Because I was in my 20s.
So this young girl.
Yes, so we started off with that. Then when my father died, I wanted to do obituary and publication for him. I was in press club too in secondary school. I was Miss Press, you know, so I went to some of the media houses and the amounts they gave to me, I was like, well, for what? So my father's obituary was my first publication for Spring Point magazine. That was a lifestyle and event magazine. So we started off with Spring Point magazine. Then we wanted to rebrand to an investigative journal.
Oh, no.
But I now looked at that, okay, let us take the news out of the magazine and have Africa Update newspaper. So the first edition was the update. But during a political season, something happened and we had to change to Africa Update. That was what we registered eventually. And we started. Now, maybe because of my marketing background, I always saw the need. So I saw the need for us to go online. We now went online and we have our Africa Update website, all that. Now, eventually, we progressed. But what motivated me was the fact that I had to be there for my children if something happened in the future. And it happened. And I was able to shield them from life. Now I have done diesel supply. I have done all kinds of things.
Street hustle.
Street hustle. Now Invisible Remote Control was published in Spring Point magazine as a series. So it was when people started coming back with feedback, like they liked the storyline. I had to now pull out the story from the magazine and put it as a novel. It's about family life. How a woman's pain led her on the wrong path. The man was unfaithful. She didn't know how to handle it. He even slept with her house help. That's what happens in most homes. So she went on a revenge mission, and she did it with somebody. She got pregnant. She gave it to the husband. I wrote this thing way back 2006, but we eventually published the first edition 2008, and we have had several revisions. Now eventually something happened and they had to do DNA. The man discovered that the son he thought was his. Their first child was a girl, so the first son they had was for another man, and it was broken. Her mother took her to some places to delete his memory. So that's the Invisible Remote Control. So it's quite crazy. When I finished writing it, I was like, did you write this thing? When we sent it to Amazon, they published. They were sent to Rakuten, Kobo, and some places, and we printed the hard copy, which we officially launched. You were there 2 years ago in Port Harcourt. So I keep trying to be a better version of myself, and at every point in time I try to be an inspiration to someone. Most of my friends whose marriages would have collapsed, their husbands don't know. I am
behind.
Yes, I tell them, don't
The invisible remote control.
in a positive way. I tell them, no, don't leave him, because it's a phase, it will pass. And when it blows out, you see that, like one of them was telling me, do you know our kids are big now? It's just both of us now. That were like boyfriend and girlfriend now since time. I say, yes, that's how it is.
Parted ways long time ago.
And you know, children tend to act funny. Sometimes you might be in a violent relationship,
and they are watching.
No, like mine was violent.
But the children are seeing too.
They're seeing, but they don't understand because they are small.
Okay.
It happens when the kids are small. Now, most times you say, let me stay because of my children, and you end up losing your life. So I tell women, I say, okay, if you find yourself in that situation, your life first, you have to be alive, but don't ever divorce the man. Give him space. Let's work on yourself. Don't do those things that will make him hit you. Then when it is time, when you both of you heal, you can come back together. But what I'm saying is, we tend to be in a hurry. Oh, I no go fit again, I won't go. Because you're seeing one woman or one man and you feel their life is perfect. No. Most 80% of couples have one issues they are trying to manage.
Okay. What are some of the challenges you've experienced in publishing? And if you were to be in position to correct those challenges, we know the economy affects generally, there's poor power and so on. What are some of those challenges?
The first challenge is quackery. You have manpower.
To go and adulterate your...
Yes, then you have people who are not ready to work.
Yeah,
but they want to earn.
I'm looking for a job.
So you asked me what led me to studying journalism. I had to know the do's and don'ts, so that somebody don't send me to prison, God forbid. Because we're in the business of telling stories, telling the public what happened. And if my reporter, for instance, comes with a fake news, or even if the story is not fake, we're not the court of law or the judiciary to say, yes, you committed this thing, you're hereby sentenced to this. No. Ours is to allege until proven guilty. So I had to go get a degree so I don't get into trouble. So the first challenge is manpower. We don't have people who are ready to study and earn, work and earn. You want the CEO to bring the money from wherever the CEO will bring it. and give to us. Then we don't have support from the system. When I say the system, in developed countries, you have people advertise. They see the need for them to pay for adverts. How many companies are ready to pay you for that advert? Because there are quacks, people who claim to be media people, who will charge them peanuts and do what you are supposed to do for them professionally. So these are the challenges we have. I was telling somebody, nobody can wear a robe and their stuff and go to court and impersonate to be a lawyer. The person will be sent straight to prison. Or even a doctor. People, you can't impersonate and go there. No. But in this our profession, you have people, so far as you have smartphone, thank God for smartphone. They will carry the smartphone. If it's to record you, they do video, they do all kinds of things. Some even end up in the dustbin. But you've given them money. Monies you would have paid to an established media house. So these are some of the challenges.
What about the enabling environment? Cost of running your business?
The cost of running the business is universal. We're all trying to manage cost of power, cost of diesel, fuel, all that.
And all that.
You know,
rent.
So rent is another thing. So when you add all those up, if you're not careful, it's just the grace of God that helps you keep your doors open. Otherwise, it's difficult to hire the required manpower to run your business the way you ought to run it.
Okay, so in closing, in 1 minute, in choosing a career in life, you've been there now, you are an employer of labor, you've gone through, what would you say, inspiring anyone to choose a career, to be focused in life, to move from where the storms, to go through the storm, because life will throw storms at you?
Well, I would say just...
And to rise, to publish your name.
Just do what you
at
love.
Amazon, like Gloria.
Just do what you love, because I was in the bank.
Okay.
I got to the point where I was assigned a branch.
Wow.
Where media
branch manager.
Yes, media kept calling me. By ranking, not a full manager, but by, I don't know how to explain, but I was qualified to run a branch. So they had already assigned a branch to me. But I left all that and I went full-time into journalism. Maybe if I stayed, my contemporaries are regional managers in most of the branches that they are still at. So I have passion for media.
Okay. So follow your passion.
Yes, I have passion for writing. So do whatever you feel you're passionate about. I also have passion for politics.
I didn't touch that part.
So I have passion for politics.
And you're vying for...
I'm vying for... When the time comes, I'll come back to the studio.
Come back, do your campaigns and everything.
I'll come back here and do that.
We have a program called Government for the People. So
yes, so when it comes to that, we'll speak to the issues.
All right.
But for now, just do what you're passionate about.
So it's also important to also study.
That is not critical, because I wouldn't have been here if I had not developed myself.
Thank you very much, Gloria Buma Harry. Thank you. Thank you once more.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, we've been speaking with Gloria Buma Harry on today's edition of Mentorprenuer. She is pursuing her second PhD degree despite challenges from the onset, from the family background.
So now I'm Doctor. Okay. I'm Dr. Harry now.
Sorry. How would I miss that? Well,
that's why I could not kill a rat to become
the third one might be coming. Okay, so please, challenges in life, you can't end it. Even our Lord Jesus Christ said it. In the world you will have tribulation, but you see, you must be determined personally, because even if God wants to help you, in Philemon the Bible says God can do nothing without your mind. And he said, can two work together unless they agree? He said two are greater than one. So even if you say, God help me, you also have to help yourself. So despite whatever situation you find yourself, your parents may have brought you to this world without your choice. Your parents may have made mistakes, but you can correct it by staying focused, by doing the right things, going to school, learning a craft, by using your energy productively rather than into get into vices and crime. Yeah, you may make mistakes. Pick up yourself, correct your mistakes, and take the right course. And that's one way you can summarize her life. So today she has moved from those shattered conditions to being an employer of labor to publishing stories, including her story. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Until next time, this is where we say have a great weekend. And don't forget to always stay tuned to CEMTV. You can watch us live on all our socials, on X, on Thread, on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, CEMTVPLUS. Also on 9Comsat free-to-air decoder, KU band, CEMTV. Have a great day. My name is Mebaka Iyenenge, Mr. MI.
This is CEMTV, reliable news and entertainment.